Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today is what I said it was going to be last week, which is, I don't know whether I said what the engine was, but I bought a new engine. So I've kept the box just off camera so I can bring it on now. And this is my new LMS Class 5. It's a 460. Here's a bit about it. And you can see it's Hornby. The box is a little bit worse for wear, but you know, not horrible. Now, I will admit I have had this running, and I've had it running quite well for a few hours just to run it in properly. I obviously forgot to film it because, you know, what would be the sense in actually filming it, but nevertheless it is in here. So let's get the engine out of its polystyrene case, which is a little bit worse for wear. It does show signs of sort of some bite out of there clearly, but that's alright. It still holds it and still does its job, so not too worried about that. Now we go here. It is an older locomotive in their style, so we can sort of see the gears inside there. Now they have all been oiled and all work perfectly fine, I hope. I oiled them Saturday that's just gone, so I've had this just under a week so far, and it runs quite okay. You can see here this turns back and forth quite nicely, and this moves as well somewhat. When you put them together they look like this. It's quite a nice thing. This is my first LMS locomotive that I have. As I said, it is an LMS Class 5. This is number 4657, which just randomly decided to buy a Class 5 for my first one. My second LMS will probably be a Duchess. I say Duchess, I'm not even sure that's actually a class. It'll be Duchess of Sutherland probably, as that's what I'm looking at getting for my second LMS. But that might be a little way off yet, as I want to try and gain some funds for it first. But I've got a couple engines on my eBay watch list currently, which I can buy, repair and sell on, and hopefully make a little bit of money off of, so that I can buy a Duchess for you guys to be able to witness on the channel. But yeah, so this locomotive is quite a nice sort of small locomotive. I mean, I would, and you know, higher train level experts or train enthusiasts than me will definitely call me out on this one, but personally I sort of call this out to like maybe a Hall class from the Great Western, Castle class as well from Great Western, or is it King class? I think that's another one of the three. GWR classes that sort of look vaguely similar to this, minus a tender that looks a lot different. From LNER, this is quite similar in some aspects to a sort of LNER B1. Not obviously the square boiler here, because the LNER's got more of a sort of sloped one rather than such a square boiler. But in terms of sort of size of locomotive, from here to here, it's very similar to a V1, which I could actually show you the B1, to be fair. Give me a second, I'll get the B1 out just so I can show you my point. I'll just get the body of it because it's currently under repair. But here's the body of the B1, so you can sort of see what I mean by my point. It's really similar. Let me move the camera around a little bit. But yeah, it's almost identical in length, and it really does look very similar, except for obviously you got the square to sort of round boiler here, or firebox or whatever they like to call it. And then you obviously notice here we've got a whistle and two safety valves. but I mean there probably is a whistle on here somewhere. It's just not painted. I think it's just back there, but just really not painted to gold. And these are 2 safety valves here. This also might be a place where there was like a bell, possibly, just on top here. Could be wrong on that one. This one's got a dome here, so I'm not quite sure what that's for. Obviously, if you know, tell me in the comments down below, as I'll be greatly appreciating that information. Or I know that if I mention it to some of my friends, mention it to a couple of my friends, they'll probably know what I'm on about and be able to tell me exactly what I'm looking at, and tell me off for not knowing it, probably, which is fair enough. But yeah, so this is my B1 that I'm still working on my Cars and Trains channel, but I thought I'd get it out just to demonstrate my point. And I don't have a tender for it, so I can't unfortunately show you any sort of similarities between the tenders, because it doesn't have one yet. I need to buy one for it, but you know, it's about prioritizing projects at the minute. But yeah, I mean, it'll come in time. When I get time to buy it, I'll buy it. But yeah, so this is a very nice runner. I haven't had it pulling, you know, huge amounts of weight yet. I just had it pulling 2 coaches. That's it I've had so far. But it'd be nice to get it on some longer coaches. And I do actually, mentioning it, have an LMS coach for it, which I wasn't intending to have, but I just own one apparently, which needs a chassis and 2 bogies and some couplings and all that fun stuff, which I'm sure has been on the channel several times, and I'm sure will be on the channel several times more. But yeah, just needs a bit of work, and then we'll get it running behind this lovely thing, which would be lovely. But yeah, so this is my new LMS Class 5, and the tender looks quite similar to the Duchess of Sutherland that I want to buy. But what I will say is the Duchess of Sutherland is a lot more pronounced. If any of you own a Duchess of Sutherland, you'll know what I mean. But it's very much a different vibe from sort of this Class 5 to sort of Duchess, which, you know, has sort of, the Duchess of Sutherland has a presence, which you sort of don't get from this engine here, where even though it's a model, it still sort of stands out as, you know, maybe not the king of the railways, but definitely wants to be in that conversation, whether it can get its foot in the door. So it's very much sort of feels like that sort of powerful, dominant locomotive. So it'd be nice to have in the fleet, and have a couple more LMS stuff. I also want a coronation class, which is a while off. Like, it's going to be a long way before I get that, but it is on my list. I can possibly, for you guys, try and talk to one of my friends who has a coronation, and see if I can get a couple of clips or something to put together, or I can like film it for a running session or whatever, so you guys can see it. If you guys would like to see that, let me know in the comments down below, but we'll see if I get the chance to do that. But yeah, I'll see if I can do that at some point for you guys. Which would be nice. It's a blue coronation, unfortunately, so it wouldn't be in this sort of nice crimson colour, but I'll see if I can get it for you. And if I'm going to buy a coronation, it'll probably be in a blue as well. I might get it in that sort of crimsonish colour if I can find one that I like, because all the crimsons I've seen so far are a bit off the correct colour. And to be fair, on the camera here, it doesn't actually look the correct colour. Let me see if I can get you just straight sunlight down onto it. It still doesn't look that nice, because for you guys it's sort of like a slight maybe tinted colour. I mean, I have got a screen sort of protection thing on, so I'm not sure if it's sort of toning down the colour there, but it's a nice colour here. But I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, that is it for this video, and my nice new LMS, and showing it off to you guys. Now, what I would like to say, and I will say this on my Cars and Trains channel next week, is that I'm going to start moving a couple of engines around from channel to channel between my Cars and Trains channel and this channel here. Obviously this is going to stay on this channel. I might get a little mention on the other channel, or might get shown on the other channel just here and there, but generally is this channel's locomotive. And that's what I'm going to do from now, is sort of split them between channels, and they will be able to be seen on both channels like you saw my B1 today, but generally they will have homes in terms of YouTube channels, because it just makes more sense for my brain to understand. One of the engines I can announce is going to be moving is my Midland Pullman, which if none of you know about it, go and check out my Cars and Trains channel, as it's literally been on there for the past 2 weeks, or 2 videos. I've been trying to get it working finally, which it is so close to being done now. So we'll have that on here, maybe not next week, but definitely the week after it will be officially on here, as there will be a video on it on my Cars and Trains channel next Monday, where I hopefully have it running, and I can film a bit of it running hopefully tomorrow in real life, which will be out next week, Monday. But yeah, after that it'll come onto this channel, and everything else in terms of, you know, buying more coaches for it and stuff like that will be done to this channel, and it'll all be shown on here first, and just in general on here anyway. And then there may be a few engines from here that switch over. I think my LNER tank engine that I bought recently is on this channel. I can't quite remember anymore, and this is why I'm trying to split them up, because my brain does not have the capacity for this. So if I can remember which is on which, it's easier. But yeah, so we'll have a bit of split up of engines and stuff like that. So, but just at the end of the day, don't worry about, I'll never be able to see this on that channel or anything like that. They'll all make cameos on each of the both channels. It's just they sort of have a home, and then they might show up on the other channel from time to time. But it's just more me trying to keep track of what I'm posting about, and if I've got a project on the sort of works or on the go, I want to know which channel it's on, because I'm struggling a lot currently at remembering which channel which project's on. So I'm trying to sort of help myself out a little bit to remember where each project is, because I simply have so many locomotives, which is a privilege, because not everyone has the ability to have this many locomotives. I think I've got like 15 plus now. It is slightly getting out of hand, but then again, I'm wanting to buy more locomotives, so yeah, I've got to find a home to store them pretty quickly, because it's getting intense quite quickly. But yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications to never miss another video from me. Almost forgot what to say there. And next week we'll be back with the LMS Class 5, as hopefully I might bring it down to the Walthamstow Pump House Museum tomorrow, alongside my Midland Pullman, and I might film a couple of videos for both channels, and you can just sort of see it running with nobody else there. So it'll be quite simply, if I can get permission, which hopefully, fingers crossed I can, it will just be me there alone, just running engines, which would be quite nice. So you get a nice video out of it, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully I can film that. You'll know next week, obviously, depending on what I post. But yeah, catch you all next week. Bye for now. Bye.